Hey, what's up, barbecue family? It's your boy. I'm back. Joe Mill here with Killer Miller Q, and today I'm bringing out the old Green Mountain. We're making a little something for the week. We're gonna be doing this Cajun hot honey turkey breast. It's gonna be good. I smell it already, but let me get you over here and show you what it looked like. Alright, as we pull up, get this thing back going at my local butcher here in AZ, the old Gilbert Butchery. I'll let you come in here and check this place out. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna cook today. You got a nice full assortment, some good old Suckle Buster rubs. Never have tried them, but always hear good things. A couple of sauces that I'm not too familiar with. At some point, whether today is the day or not, I am going to try something dry aged just to see if that's actually something that'll work for me or not. I just can't imagine. They say that's good though, huh? Other than that, you got your choice of pretty much anything you can think of. Pork shank up there, and cheddar, chorizo sausage, breakfast sausage, love it. Always got a great selection of meats. Pork belly burnt ends, already got them chopped up for you. Bacon, assorted chickens. Old blues hogs, can't go wrong. Some bison, sirloin, firecracker, chili. I think I know what I'm doing though. Already we keeping this thing somewhat light for the day. I definitely want to try some of them Wagyu tri-tips here soon enough, but I need to get a little bit of something lighter in my life. Let's go over here and see if we can't find us one of these boneless turkey breast. There we go. So now we got this baby back to the house. All right, 5.69 pounds. This is a big baby we talking about here. $7.99 a pound. I wanted to give you a shot of one of the grocery stores or butchers that I like to go to, just because I think it's kind of cool when you're in different areas to see some of the things that's available to different people, as well as also being able to get an idea of the price. So I even let you see the tag. Let's get this baby up out this package. Man, this is a big old turkey breast. Here this thing is out the package. This is boneless, so you can notice there's nothing else on here. And then also, you know, this is uncured. There's been no solution or brine or anything like that. So this baby is fresh. And you can also see that they kind of got this thing held together by this butcher twine. I'm gonna be getting rid of this butcher twine. You can leave it together and intact if you want to. It'll help it cook more evenly. So once I sprawl this out, you are gonna have some ends and flaps that get a little more done or get done faster. I like them crispy pieces, so I'm going for that. The other thing is you know, you can totally brine this if you wanted to and impart some more flavor in there, also impart some more moisture. I'm doing this more or less for my healthy choice for the week. Some of the food that I'll be breaking down to have throughout and lunches and stuff like that. So I'm gonna keep it pretty plain and basic today. I'm not gonna do nothing too crazy, but as always, you know we're gonna end up with a good flavor on here. So I got some ideas for us. So I'm gonna keep this pretty simple. I am gonna be getting rid of this skin. Don't really need that, but I mean, if you wanted to, you can leave that on there. You can crisp that up. I'm gonna get rid of that, get rid of those butcher twine, and then I'll meet you right back here. Here you go, this big old breast outside the package. So one thing I figured I would bring you back in just to kind of show you was I'm getting rid of this skin, and this is the thick skin, man. This was part of the reason I'm getting rid of it. It would take you a while to crisp that up to make it perfectly and everything. Turkey has like 0 fat pretty much in it, which is one of the reasons it's going to be a part of my weekly dining options. But I'm taking this off of there. Plus, I'd rather get me a little bit of direct contact with my rub and my seasoning directly on the meat. Develop me a little bit of, not necessarily bark, but a nice little, you know, skin to it and everything, versus this is probably going to cook and slide right off in my first bite anyway. So we're going to go ahead and take this off. What I wanted to show you was how I'm doing it. You want to just kind of get you a nice and easy side, and if you look as you kind of peeling it back, you see those connective fibers right there. You get your knife, and all you got to do, and this is same when you even trimming brisket and stuff like that, don't fight it. You know, we don't got to gouge this meat up. As you can see what I've done on everything else, you don't even see any touches on this. Pull it up, pull it back, and you just want to hit your knife right along that seam right there. And this is going to naturally go ahead and release and let go of even more of it, and you'll be able to pull it. I mean, truthfully, if I pull it hard enough, I can pull some of it right off, but what ends up happening sometimes is you'll pull areas you didn't want. So a couple little swats with your knife as you're going, this thing will come off nice and clean, and you'll have your pretty breast left. So let me finish up, and I'll bring you back. And voila, super easy, nothing crazy. I'm not worried about trying to chase every little bit of fat out of here and every seam, because this thing will fall apart on you. This is turkey, once again, even less than a chicken breast pretty much, and you don't have a little bit of nothing on here as far as fat. And most of that is probably in this giant piece of skin. Look at that skin, man. I don't want that. Now, you could crisp that up and maybe make you like some chicharrones or whatever have you, you know, some pork rinds, you're crackling. But I won't be doing that today. That's going straight in the garbage for me. But I want you to see, you do that right, nice and easy. One giant piece. It's pretty thick, as you can see. So we're going to throw that to the side. I'm keeping this pretty simple. We did a turkey breast on the channel here. I'll make sure I'm going to link that video in there for you to check out if you didn't. Before I used Duke's Mayo, worked great. You can definitely put any kind of binder on here that you want. The one thing that I did notice when I used that Duke's Mayo was it was great, and I liked it because I knew it would be adding a little bit of fat to it to give it a little bit of moisture. But long term, it also stopped me from really being able to get as much bark as I wanted. It came out great. It came out, you know, fabulous as far as taste and everything, but I want to try a little something different just so I can give me a little different result, as I'm a tinkerer, like as you already know. So what I'm gonna be doing today is we're just gonna be hitting this with some nice olive oil, nice clean olive oil all over. And then as far as our rub, we're gonna be sliding back over here to one that we've used before, this rib rack spice rub, this Cajun seasoning. We're gonna hit it with a nice application of Cajun all over, and I'm actually gonna put this back in the fridge today. Normally, you know, most meats I'm leaving out so it can come up to room temp. One, it's getting pretty hot out here in Arizona, so I definitely don't need to see nothing close to this temperature outside. But number two, this won't take that long to cook. Like I've already said a couple times, it's pretty lean. So with that said, I want it to stay cold, absorb those seasonings in a little bit. I'll put you onto the pit a little bit cold. I'm not worried about it. It'll just take a little bit longer to cook, but that'll give it a little more time for it to breathe a little bit of smoke in. Let me grab this olive oil, wet this baby up, and then I'll get it seasoned up, and you'll see the finishing product before we get it into the old Green Mountain. Yes, yes, yes. As you can see, we have made it over here to the proving grounds. Just grabbed this baby out. Check that out. Even though it was sitting in the fridge, as you can notice, it's sweating a little bit, right? I patted it dry, got rid of the extra moisture that was on there, hit it with a little bit of that olive oil, and then it gave us a nice coat all the way around with this Cajun rib rack spice rub. I like this. It's got a good Cajun flavor, so you can already like feel like you taste some smoke. Don't got a lot of unnecessary stuff in there. As you see, it says no junk. Trying to keep to my lean and clean for the week. And the other thing that I like about this rub is it's not a ton of salt, so hopefully I don't be looking at making this baby too salty. Keep in mind, if you get one of these turkey breasts that's already in a bag, you'll probably notice that it says that it's in some type of a solution. That solution is almost like a brine, so it's had some kind of salt or sugar, something in there along the way. So keep that in mind if you are watching your sodium intake. But for me, I'm just trying to do a little bit something better than I did yesterday, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, we got the Green Mountain fired up. I got this baby up to 300. I know you probably can't really see that dial. I was thinking about doing 275, but didn't want to have it too low because, again, this doesn't have much fat on it, so I don't want to dry it out completely. So I'm going to go with 300. We're going to be using the probe. Instead of using my thermoprobe, I'll use one directly from the Green Mountain. Always love that versatility. And then we'll just slide it in right through there and into pretty much the middle, thickest part of this breast. As far as my pellets, we already got everything dialed in. Still banging them Costco pellets. I tell you what, this is not a bad buy. They got great flavor on them. I haven't had an issue, and I've been rolling with them now, man, since I saw them. Blend of hickory, maple, and cherry. Telling you, you can't go wrong. The moment I switched over to these and my other ones burnt out, I could literally smell when these came up. So let me pop this baby on. Let me get that probe in, and we're gonna get to cooking. Hey, I want to jump in here real quick and let you know, thanks for following along on today's cook. If you're new to the channel, go to that bottom right corner, make sure you subscribe, check out some of the other videos on the channel you've missed. And for everybody that's been here, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We about a little over a year and a half going strong, and we ain't stopping yet. Let's keep it going. And now that we got that in there, I kind of slid it back towards this side. I feel like this is more of our sweeter spot. Usually a little warmer over this area, right over that firebox and everything. So right there in the middle, fat part of the breast, we got us a temperature gauge in. It's still adjusting, but it's showing me at about 54 degrees, so that's good. Just like chicken, I see you when it's about closer to 165, or at least that's when it'll be done. But we got a little work to do when we get closer. All right, as you can see, I'm bringing you inside real quick. We almost at an hour out there on that turkey, and I'm gonna need a little something to baste it with. We're not gonna be doing that too much, as I got a little something special I'm gonna do at the end. But here I just got me a stick of basic store butter, nothing crazy. This one here, something to keep in mind, is unsalted. I don't want my turkey to be too salty. I already got a little bit of salt in that Cajun rub, not too much, but it's a decent amount of that applied. So I'm going with unsalted butter. If you went with a sweet rub or something like that on your turkey, maybe in this area you might want to use some salted butter. But that's what I'll be doing. We're going to be getting some clarified butter. So I'm about to go ahead and heat this up, and then I'll show you what we're going to do. All right, as you can see, all of that stuff's bubbling up. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and strain this off. Now, I tried to cut the light on so you can see a little bit of this. I've already strained this off once, but if you notice all of that foam, right? The foam that you see on the side, the stuff that's collecting at the bottom, that's all the stuff that will burn up, and that's what we're trying to get rid of. Now, if you got one of them cheesecloths or whatever, that can be something that you use right here. But basically, we're just going to strain this a couple times and get rid of that. You might switch into a bowl or two. New, I'm just slipping that strainer over another bowl, and then we'll go into a clean part of that strainer and pretty much do the exact same thing. But we want to get rid of that, and we're going to show you what it looks like at the end. Getting closer. Now, when I get to the end, I don't even pour everything out because you see what's down there. I don't even want all of that. But since I don't got no cheesecloth, I got basically a paper towel that I've kind of folded over a few times right into my cup. My last one's going straight in and through that, and we'll get rid of the rest. So now you can see that was that first bowl. Still had a little bit in that second. My makeshift cheesecloth is doing the job. Voila, that worked out pretty nice. So I just pulled it off the top. This thing is saturated, so I squeezed through some. I won't need a ton, so that's good enough for me. And then all of the milk solids and all of that stuff, that darkness, I see it's kind of focusing in on it. But that stuff, we're just going to go ahead and toss that, get rid of it, and we down to the good stuff. Woohoo! Man, it's a nice day. Smelling beautiful. We about an hour and 15 minutes in. I'm at about 120 it just got to. We'll probably get this thing a turnaround. There go that better look at that clarified butter. Oh, nice and pretty. A little golden love. Let's take a peek. I haven't seen it. Nice. You know what? I don't think it's ready for the butter. I feel like I'm just now starting to set my bark. It's not drying out in no spots. If I hit it with that butter right now, it's going to keep it wet. And I don't want to lose too much of my seasonings. All I'm about to do is get this thing a 180 turn, put this in towards the back, and I'm going to let it keep on going. There we go. Man, this thing looks beautiful already. You can see this side. This is why you got to get that turn every once in a while. My bark looks a little better set on this side. But definitely I can still see more towards the middle. It still look nice and pulpy in there, so it's got a ways a little bit longer to cook. But I'm still gonna hold off on this butter for a little bit. I'll come back and get it wet in a little bit. So at 2.5 hours, I'm sitting over here at about 153. This thing is slow rolling, nice and easy. Now we got us a nice looking little bark on there. Nice looking cover. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a bath with this clarified butter still here, nice and clean and pretty. I'm not gonna rub it on there. I'm just gonna kind of more or less just give it a nice little drip all over. We'll get this thing nice and wet, sheened up a little bit. Bam! Now you can see what I'm talking about. We got a little bit of that clarified butter on there, gave it a little wetness. That's a beautiful color. It's been smelling great coming up off of here. Keep in mind you got that extra butter that done dripped off down there, but I'm still cooking along at that 300, so I'm not too worried about it, but we'll get it cleaned up here when we're all said and done. Perfect. A little over 3 hours, 15 minutes. I'm bringing in right about 165 all around. I got one thing I'm gonna do other than get this up out of here. One thing, hindsight, there we go, coming out of there nice and pretty. I might have could have did a better job of pouring this on something else just so much of that butter didn't get down there, but you see that didn't burn up because we used that clarify. But check it out. We ain't done with it yet. Let me come back with my friend. All right, final step. I just flipped that baby all the way around. Man, it's a beautiful crust on here. When I taste off my Hanes, tastes beautiful. That's right, that's that Hanes. We're gonna hit it with a little bit of this hot honey right over the top. It's gonna let it get maybe 5 minutes just to kind of let that absorb a little bit of that smoke, and we're gonna yank this up off of here. Let me get him wet. There we go. Now that's been done right. It's gonna definitely be one that I want to clean up pretty quick fast while this is still nice and warm, because it's gonna be a gooey mess, but I guarantee this is gonna be fire. We're gonna get this quick 5 minutes. Finished product. We ain't let it get too long out there. We just wanted it to grab a little bit of that smoke. And you know, when you first get that honey, I had it sitting outside so it was nice and warm. It comes off nice and thin, but just to grab on there and get a little sticky. Now, hindsight being 2020, and I'm gonna show you in a second, I probably should have either pulled out a little bowl or something like that as I was pouring in, just to keep my grill even cleaner. But I mean, I'd be on it, so that's just something I gotta clean out. But I definitely could have kept that a little bit cleaner. But for this product right here, well worth it. I'm gonna let this hang out for a second. I'm gonna take it inside, let it chill, and then we'll go ahead and slice this up. The aftermath. This is the hindsight being 2020 part. Womp, 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 womp. This is all hard now, so I'm just gonna be able to yank that out of there. It'll come out pretty easy. The more difficult part will be getting all that nice sticky gooiness right out of that trough. But we got a couple tricks. I ain't too worried about it. But that's gonna have to come out. It smelled like a hot medicine cabinet over here. So that is the part where I probably would have did a little different method, so I wouldn't have to put so much in there, or on the bottom. But that is also why I like using that aluminum foil. If you use aluminum foil, make sure you poke out that hole, because that is your temperature gauge, so you don't want to mess around and this thing catch a fire on you and just keep dumping pellets in there and doesn't recognize the true temperature of your pit. But that's a whole side note. But anyway, I'll clean that up. Let's get back. I have held off as long as I can. This baby is rested in 15 or so minutes. I can still feel a good internal heat coming up off of there, but I don't want to lose all my daylight and lose the decent shot that you're going to get. And I'm sure ready to taste it. So I'm gonna start right on up off of this nub, kind of fan this thing down a little bit without hopefully shaking you up too much. I tell you what, man, it smells so good. It's cutting good, because this knife ain't that sharp. But at the end of the day, that's coming right through. I'm gonna try to keep that going. And then once we get more or less to the middle, I'll kind of stand them up a little bit more. Go slide back on in line. I'm not gonna cut my whole thing up. This was a big turkey breast. I mean, you almost had 6 pounds of turkey breast, so some of this is gonna get vacuum sealed, and I feel that it'll do a lot better if I just go ahead and leave it whole versus breaking it all the way down when I do that, and then I can slice it when it's time. But let me get one of these out of there. Hey, there. Okay, let's get one of these out of here to peek at it. Hopefully we cut it all the way through. Yes, look at that moisture. Can you see that a little bit in that light? Beautiful. This is still pretty warm. Man, that glaze is on there so pretty. Along with that rub, that Cajun. Let me do the honors for you, unless you want to do it for me. Look how juicy. Let me see if that'll focus on you. There we go. Look how juicy that is. Get up out of here, flies. Whoa. That honey hot gave just a sweet glaze over the top. Just a little bit of heat on here. Oh yeah, let me get one more. Let me get all in your ear with that. Get up out of here. We'll fight for this one. Woo-wee. Oh yeah. Let's get this flipped around. We're gonna talk about this. All right. So that cook took about 3.5 hours, but at the end of the day, wasn't nothing too hard, but it came out great. I got a great, nice bark on here. It's got a lot of moisture left on this turkey, and flavor is slamming. This Cajun over here by what is this, Rib Rack Spice Rub is great. I like it because it's not really heavy in that sodium. And this hot honey is a great compliment to anything. I can imagine doing this on like a whole chicken, maybe some ribs, something like that. But gave it just a nice little bit of glaze on here. I mean, this thing is still glistening. It's got a nice little sticky touch, but my rub and everything's not coming off. But it gave a little bit to the heat. Get out of here, fly. Gave a little bit to the heat, but definitely gave a little bit to the sweet. So definitely was the perfect compliment overall to this turkey breast. While I was kind of thinking it took a little bit longer than I expected, I was cooking along at 300. I put it into the sweet spot of my grill, which is away from the temperature gauge. So that might have been closer to more towards 275. We ended up having about 3.5 hours in total. But with that in mind, that was almost a 6-pound turkey breast. So that was a pretty big bird that we took care of. But let me tell you, worth every pound. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all stepping or hanging along with me. Check out my boys over at Black Smoke Barbecue and some of the podcasts we've been dropping. Definitely on the growth. We back in the house. I'm looking forward to getting y'all something special out here next week. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.